All you Valve junkies out there have probably heard of Half-Life Decay, a cooperative expansion pack bundled with Half-Life for the PlayStation 2. But this wasn't the first cooperative Half-Life game. Let me explain. Prior to the release of the original Half-Life, Daniel Fearon, otherwise known as Sven Viking, had been eagerly awaiting the release of the game. He was one of the maintainers of a Half-Life fan website known as Half-Life Atomic, which had been created due to the anticipation surrounding the release of Half-Life. During this excitement, Valve had sent a copy of Half-Life to Daniel, and out of curiosity, Daniel tried to figure out how to use the game code to spawn enemies. He had essentially managed to finish the game before the Half-Life SDK was even released. Now he just had to adjust the mod so it would work with the SDK, and allow him to use multiplayer. In January 1999, Daniel released a beta for Sven Co-op, which was originally a temporary name for the mod, and was named after what was supposed to be the mod's only map, Sven Co-op 1.bsp. In this map, you and your friends must retrieve an object for the United States government, but aliens have learned about this object and are planning a major assault at the location of it. So your team must get a hold of this object and leave without attracting too much attention. Not long after this, Daniel had quote-unquote sword merged with Aftershock Productions, the makers of Oz Deathmatch, one of the first Half-Life mods. It was extremely customizable, which boasted a good future for Sven Co-op. However, bad news was to come soon as well. Just 2 days afterwards, Atomic Half-Life was shut down. Although Daniel would miss it, he had it all backed up so that it would be forever archived. A few months later, in July 1999, Daniel posted a guide on how to play the Half-Life campaign cooperatively. Albeit buggy, it was playable, and kick-started what would become the main selling point of the game. On top of this, the release of the game had intrigued many fans of Half-Life, some of whom decided they would try their own shot at making their own maps for Sven Co-op, some of which got officially put in the game. Over the next year, Sven Co-op saw 2 major updates, the first of which being version 1.3, which added and fixed a plethora of things, the most important being that it added around 90 new CFGs for the Half-Life single-player maps, which helped to make the Half-Life campaign even more playable in Sven Co-op, as before you had to use the change level command every time you wanted to change the map. Some other cool features 1.3 added were new player models, maps, the ability to commit suicide, drop weapons, and use radio commands. The second major update was version 1.9, which boasted impressive additions to the game, such as friendly monsters, Uzis, and banana bombs? Banana bombs aside, a couple months after the update, Daniel pulled an Epic Games move and implemented a donation feature, which is all in well, but he also added a bonus for players who donated a certain amount of money. If you donated $4, you got an electrified crowbar, and if you donated $6, you got the crowbar plus a golden Uzi. Following the years after this epic move, not much happened besides Sven Co-op getting listed on Steam and some major updates, the updates being version 2.0 beta and final, version 2.1, version 3.0, 3.5, and version 4.0, which added lots of new features such as medkits, monsters and NPCs from opposing force, new weapons, and much more. But even more importantly was the possibility of Sven Co-op for Half-Life 2, which got second place for upcoming mod of the year. Unfortunately, it was abandoned in the summer of 2008, although it was later replaced by Synergy. Following this were updates 4.1 through 4.9, which were important, but not as important as what to come soon. On January 22, 2016, version 5.0, the biggest update in Sven Co-op history, was released. It brought Sven Co-op to Steam. Valve even gave them permission to include the Half-Life 1 campaign in Sven Co-op for free, making Sven Co-op the only way to play Half-Life 1 for free legally. And that pretty much wraps up the history of Sven Co-op. If you liked this video, like and subscribe, and comment down below what you liked and disliked about it. Peace.